To be honest, sometimes I get the feeling that some of you are taking advantage of my highly curious nature and my interest in anything that is sort of controversial and weird, with the ideas for videos that you're sending in. It strikes me that some of you must have thought to yourselves, look, we know that if we send Ed possibly the most revolting paper he's ever had to read in his life, that he won't be able to resist reading it, and he will do a video on it. And, you know, you're correct in that regard. You're correct. That is what's happened. I can't help myself but read the paper and do a video on it. But to be honest, I don't think it's on. I don't think it's reasonable, because I've had to go through a great deal of disgust in reading the paper you have sent in, which is Systematic Review of Rectal Foreign Bodies in Older Men, Humanistic Care and a Novel Challenge for Society, published in 2022 in the Annals of Translational Medicine by Zhang Wang et al. I mean, for goodness sake. I would admit that it is a very interesting paper. But before I go into analysing it, could you please subscribe? It helps us vitally if you do that. Could you subscribe here? And most importantly, could you subscribe over on my Substack, johnnyhake.com, where I put all of the spiciest content and vlogs, all kinds of stuff which you can't get here, and where you can support me for like I do for as little as the cost of a pint of beer a month. Right, back to the video. Back to the systematic literature review of rectal foreign bodies found in older men. Now, what this study does is it notes that it is an increasing and growing problem among older men, men aged between 60 and 80, that they are putting things up their arses, mainly for sexual stimulation purposes, and then they have to go to hospital, get put under local anaesthetic often, and then the doctors, you have to use forceps and whatever to remove these things from up their arse. And it seems to be a sufficiently big problem in China that the Chinese researchers decided that they would look into this, and they did an international meta-analysis. And they found 159 studies involving 582 men who have been recorded. 276 of whom were Chinese, and the rest of them were non-Chinese, who had been to hospital because they'd had things up their arse which they couldn't get out. And so they had to go to hospital to have them removed. And in 75% of cases, these things were up their arse because they'd stuck them up there for sexual purposes. In 25% of cases, these were things they'd swallowed that had then become, in the digestion process, stuck in their arse. And these were things like foodstuffs and fish bones. So we'll put that aside. In 75% of cases, it was men seeking sexual stimulation by sticking things up their arses. And they argue that the key reason for this is that you get men who are just sexually frustrated, basically, and there's some sexual stimulation into the anus, and so they put things up their arse. And also men that have prostatitis, and so they get a prostate massage, and they become addicted, basically, to prostate massage. It's a very pleasurable and pain-relieving experience, and so they try to induce their own prostate massage by putting things up their arses. There was an interesting difference, which was that a high degree of education was associated with putting more unusual things up your arse. So this would be consistent with Satoshi Kanazawa's model that people that are highly intelligent are higher in openness, they are higher in curiosity, and so they are attracted to the evolutionarily novel and unfamiliar, and therefore they're more likely to come up with unusual and interesting connections, and therefore think of unusual and interesting things to insert into their bottoms. So interestingly, there was a sort of an intelligence issue there. The more intelligent men would put more unusual items up their bottoms, as would be predicted by intelligence being associated with openness and curiosity. But these things included ceramic cups, vibrators, batteries, light bulbs, candles, glass cups, wine bottles, soda bottles, metal or wooden objects, cucumbers, aerosol cans with or without the lids, beer bottles, and in some cases, of course, these things would break, or these things would break open the wall cavities of the body, resulting in sepsis, resulting in septic shock. I mean, resulting in a seriously dangerous situation. So it is, if this study is to be believed, the significance of the study is that it is a growing problem that old men particularly in China it seems, but also outside, seems to be putting things up their arses. And so as we get an aging population of men who are not having children and living alone, you're going to get more and more people going to hospital because they have cucumbers or they have ant spray up their arses. So it's a growing social problem, chaps, which we need to do something about.
Are you ready for the future of the West?